Hello, Sari. Welcome in. I know you're a bot, but still, thank you for what you do. Oh, y'all can hear me. Oops. Anyway, hope everybody's doing great today. I have to crack open my gamma bucket for rice. Oh, hello. Jindal! Hello! Thank you so much for resubscribing. My gosh, Vetus. How are you doing, Jindal? This is going to be a thing today. We are going to be making some Persian food today. Planted seeds changed motion detector light. Oh, okay. I had to break open my gamma bucket. Right now I'm getting the basmati rice and filling up a jar. I like buying stuff in like, 2, 3, 5 pound bags, something like that. I've got, let's see, I bought a basil plant from grocery store. Bought a mint plant from the grocery store too, and both of them are actually growing pretty quick. And I planted rosemary and thyme, and today there was a flash sale on Amazon for the mortar and pestle that I was going to buy, and originally it was like 35 bucks, and now I got it for like 20. So I went ahead and bought that, and to get it up to $25, I bought a big pack of basil seeds, which was a 8-pack of mixture. So I've got holy basil and dark basil and several other kinds of basil coming in, so I'll probably plant some of those too. I've also got jalapenos here too. All right, we'll be ready here in a couple minutes. I'm just measuring out rice. Normally they tell you to tomatoes, grape tomatoes, and a ton of peppers. Catnip, rosemary, lavender, trying to keep the cats away from the other stuff. You've got a much longer growing season down there than I do. Okay. I filled up a jar and resealed the bucket. And I've got my rice cooker here ready. Normally the process for this is to parboil the rice, but literally it's to cook it until it's finished, and then we're gonna kind of bake it after that. So I really don't see a reason to go through the trouble of trying to parboil it. We'll just put it in the rice cooker and get it done, and then we'll do the fry/bake. This is not like making fried rice in an Asian style. This is literally creating a heavy crust on it. So I'm going to mix it with yogurt and a few other things. These recipes tend to be more sour. These are Persian recipes. And Persian recipes are just kind of a regional thing. Iran, Iraq, Lebanon. These are primarily Iranian though. So Persia. And I bought lamb today. We're going to do lamb as well. The thing about these recipes, though, is that they take an hour each. So there's going to be a little bit of downtime. We'll go slow, take our time. Do it right. Some of this is going to a friend of mine at work who is from Iran, so I want to make sure I do it right. Is that more rice? What the heck? Oh, shoot. I had a big old bag of basmati in the cabinet, didn't even know. And it's open, too. Dang it. Well, now I got two. Oh, I ordered some, oh yeah, I mentioned that. They do not put it in a zip. It's in those little bags that you get. These are the 1 pound bags where they have the tape seal on the top and you just flip it over and roll it down. So yeah, they're sealed. I'm gonna open up the run here. Always put them in a bigger, better bag. Well, I just poured the basmati in that I got out of the Gamma bucket into a sealed jar. I can get another one. I've got another. I got a pickle jar right here. I can put it in. If you think I should, I'll do it. I would get a 25-pound bag, but I just don't go through it fast enough. See, we'll sit over here. See, I save jars like this. The problem with doing this is that I don't know necessarily what kind of rice it is. Basmati and jasmine are pretty similar. I don't either, but it lasts a year or half a year. That's why I use the Gamma bucket, because some of it'll last 5, 6, 7 years. At the same time, I don't want to leave it in there forever, so I'm trying to not do that anymore. I used to do it all the time. Put stuff in and leave it forever. I didn't quite hold all of it. Oh no. Started stuffing jars in the cabinet. Forgot that I actually had. I just found another one. I just found another one. And what is this? This is long grain brown rice. And that looks like white rice. Standard white rice. How old is this brown rice? Brown rice does not have as much of a lifespan. You don't want to keep it forever. I have no idea. I'm just going to throw it away. Along with this one. Yeah, I do like using these. These ones with the latches on them. Couple week. Have you noticed lately? I've been eating it every week. And, oh no. Yeah, I found another one. Hey, Greg, welcome in. Oh, congrats on first. Oh no, what is this? This is standard white rice. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put all the basmati that we just got out. I know, that's what I'm doing. Listen, I've been working on this lately. I've been finding all the stuff that's laying around and combining it all and getting rid of trash. It's just taken me a few years. Depression's a pain in the butt. All right, here we go. This is all basmati rice now. These are the ones that I just opened. Ugh. See, there you go. We got plenty of basmati now. And it's sealed. Okay? I can put these two back. Welcome in, hey Greg. How you doing? I've got like 30 of those jars. I use these too. That's all curry leaves. These are all dried curry leaves. Okay, so welcome in everybody. We are doing a couple of Persian dishes, as I said. Where are the pretzels? One of the recipes that we're working on today, the first one that we're doing here, is Persian saffron rice, which is known as tachin. And this is a multi-step kind of deal here. So we're going to try to do this and not screw it up. Now normally, as I mentioned before, they just parboil the rice until it's done and steam it. We're just going to go ahead and use the rice cooker for this one because this isn't really the end of it. We're going to have to take the rice that we take out of this rice cooker here, and we're going to be putting it into a baking dish covered in butter and then seal it with a aluminum foil and put it in the oven and basically fry/bake it until it forms a crust. It'll be a very heavy yellow crust, hopefully a golden crust. So to do this, we're gonna put in our 2 cups of basmati rice here, our aged basmati rice, into our rice cooker, but we're also going to put in a little bit of salt this time with the water. Then we're going to fry up some. Now we're supposed to use barberries, but there's nowhere around here where I can get those. So a good substitute for barberries are cranberries. They're still a little on the sour side. They have a similar appearance. They have kind of a similar texture and taste to them as well. So that should be pretty good. Then we are going to make some saffron water and mix that in with the saffron, or mix that in with the rice. Then we're going to mix in some Greek yogurt, a little bit of oil, some egg yolks, and some salt, and we're just going to drop that into the oven. And then when we pull it out of the oven, we're going to cover that with some of our basically fried cranberries. So this dish will be a little bit crispy, it'll be a little bit sweet, it'll be a little bit buttery, it'll be a little bit sour. So this ought to be pretty interesting. I've never done this before. The last time I did any Persian dishes, I made sabzi polo, which was kind of a yellow turmeric rice with, in this case I used lima beans because it's hard to find fava beans here. Since then, I actually found out that there's a Middle Eastern / Israeli store nearby, and I'm going to actually try to go in and grab a couple of cans of fava beans. But it's just a little bit of time to try and find them. So let me go ahead and get what we need going here. We're going to use cranberries instead of barberries. These are going to be our primary source here. They have a similar texture and appearance. We're going to be using basmati rice, aged basmati long grain rice. We're going to need some unsalted butter. We're going to need saffron and yogurt and some eggs. I'm going to use a thicker Greek yogurt for this. I'm trying to figure out where the center of that camera is. We need about 3 eggs. Now for this, we only need the egg yolks. We don't need the egg whites. So we'll use our little Christmas gift for this. I haven't had too much of an opportunity to use this. It's our little chicken separator. And let's see, saffron and salt. We need a little bit of salt for this one. It's not a lot of salt considering how much rice it is, so I will use the amount that we need for this. Bought a couple of boxes of these little bottles of wine that I use for cooking. There's so many of them, I think I'm going to need more. All right. We're checking my calibration today. Yep, that's still a half teaspoon. We got 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Saffron. Let me see. I found saffron. This stuff is expensive. I got two little boxes of it. These are almost $6 each, and you know, I've used them for several recipes actually. Today we're probably going to end up using up most of it. So, but it's not too bad if you can buy it like this, because this is only about $5 for one of these little containers. And there's generally enough there that you see how it's got separated into 4 little slots inside. Each one of those slots is a little over a pinch, and you can soak it in water or milk. Hey Guzzy, welcome in. How are you doing today? And generally that's what you end up using it for. So we've got that. I think that is it for this part of the recipe. So let me go ahead and get a picture, because I forgot to get our picture last week. Oops. How you doing today? All right. We're going to take our 2 cups of rice here. Pop that directly down into our rice cooker. It should be about 2 cups of water too. Yeah, it's a little bit more than that. That should be fine. I'm going to put a sprinkle of salt in here. Just a little bit. We're going to set this off to the side and let it go ahead and cook. Oh, I can't put that over there anymore. Okay. So now we've got our rice started. That's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes. The rest of this we can do when we get to that point. I do need to cook up some of these cranberries though, along with the butter. So I'm going to pull these aside, and we'll do this part after the rice is cooked. Our next recipe, well, let's go ahead and do this first. Our barberry, or in this case cranberry, oh gosh. I'm a little slow today. How much butter do we actually need? Hang notes. 2 tablespoons of butter. All right, we're gonna do that. We'll fry these up and set them aside. I've got a tiny little frying pan that I've never used. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I'm checking my notes. About a half cup of these. What's better, after we're done with these, I can add them to my trail mix that I use at work. No wastage. So there we go. We've got those. Need about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to cut those up just a little bit. What are you doing, Gentle? We're going to start on the other one here in a minute, too. Our other recipe is this lamb kofta. Lamb is not as common here. For these, we're going to cut them up just a little bit. I'm not going to leave them whole. I'm kind of interested in trying barberries. I don't know what they are. So if I find them at the, if I happen to find them at that store when I go over there, I might get some. They're fairly common for a lot of Middle Eastern and Lebanese food as well. I think that'll do it. We don't need to cut them up any more than that. These are very sticky. All right, let's fry these up. setting our heat kind of low. I'm going to put it at about 4.5. Actually, I'm not going to use that pan. I'm going to use this other one. It's a little bit bigger. We're not going to turn the heat up too high because we're using butter, and butter will burn. You don't want to burn it. So we'll have to cook them a little slowly. I don't know. You want to see my belly and my feet? There you go. Other people that do. All right, there we go. Next up. This gives me a chance to make a mistake here, so we can start cooking these and then see how they come out, and if they don't look right, I can do it again. I've got enough to be able to do that today. I ended up only spending about $60 today, even though I knew it was going to cost more than that. But it's because I had a lot of the spices and things. The next dish that we're going to work on here in a few minutes requires 3 entire tablespoons of turmeric powder. So if you use that, that's going to take an entire jar, which is like $6. I, however, bought roughly a pound of it for about $5 at the Indian store here, or Nepali store. So it shouldn't be too bad. Basically, we want to cook these until they plump up a little bit. That's it. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday. It's a little warm. It's actually a little bit warmer here. There's grabbing some of the ingredients for the next one. Alright, we got a pretty good soup of butter going on here. This is something that feels a little strange to me. Rain this morning, now it's sunny and muggy. Oh boy. This feels strange to me, cooking cranberries. We just want them to plump up a little bit. This next recipe uses a lot of lemon juice, an entire half a cup. Look at that, they're already starting to plump up. Let them cook another minute or so. That is enough. That's a pretty good start for the day. It's hot, but be careful. Yes, it's bacon flavored cranberries. Those are going to be sprinkled a little bit within the inner layers of the rice mixture. So basically, we're gonna, instead of doing it the way that they normally do it, we're going to bake it to see if we can get a better crust. If I try to fry it in the pan that I've got, it's going to scorch it, I think. So I'm going to try to bake it in a glass baking dish. This next one, however, we're going to get started on right now. So we've got our ground lamb. We got about a pound of ground lamb here. We're going to need a half a cup of lemon juice. We're going to need about most of these yellow potatoes here. I couldn't find any actual just individual yellow potatoes today for some reason. They didn't have any. We're going to need some black pepper, ground black pepper. We're going to need some onion here. This is yellow onion. And we're going to need some chickpea flour, as well as some carrots. Now let me see about the rest of it real quick. I think that's most of it. Oh, we need a little bit of kosher salt. And our turmeric. We need 3 tablespoons of turmeric. I'm going to get the bag out. Chili powder. Cheese. There we go. This is almost a pound. If you can find it, this is the better option. This is from the India store. This is just regular turmeric powder. It's about almost a pound. Okay. This recipe is actually pretty simple. It's only got a couple of steps. We're going to make some lamb meatballs with most of this. And then we're just going to put a little bit of it into our Dutch oven and cook it a little bit. Add some juice, add in our meatballs, add in our veggies, and then cook it right up and let it simmer. That's it. This is from Isfahan, Iran. So I think that does it. Yeah, that's it. Let me get a picture of that. Start measuring everything out. Since we're using so much of the turmeric, I'm not going to take it from my jar. Yep, lamb balls. It's a lamb ball stew. And I don't, the kosher salt. I don't use kosher salt generally. I do, however. Have sea salt, which is very similar. I'll make sure I didn't miss some. Chickpea flour, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 3 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 4 teaspoons of freshly ground pepper, lemon juice, 4 medium carrots, 2 medium yellow potatoes. That's a pound. They think 4 carrots is 1 pound. That is definitely not a pound. I tell you right now, it's not. One pound my booty. That's 10 ounces. It's probably going to take all the carrots I got. That's still only 1 pound. It's not even barely 1 pound. Oh well, that's what we're going to do. Thank you again for that scale and bread. Okay. We need to peel those and start chopping everything. We'll use our nakiri. Do one thing real quick. Just a second. Okay. One thing we are going to do here sometime soon is we're going to kind of do a maintenance run. We're going to do some cleaning and sharpening knives and things like that. So we may have just kind of a skills show where we're just doing that kind of work. Maybe planning a few things here and there. I got all these kalungi seeds. I wonder if they actually do anything. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and start measuring out. We need a half a cup of this lemon juice. Let's go ahead and start with that. That is a lot of lemon juice. This doesn't have a shaker lid. All right. Hey, Bon, you want a carrot? We don't have quite enough. I need a couple more. Can you bring me some? You can have whatever's left. How are you doing today? That is straight up a half a cup of lemon juice right there. Oh boy. That is going to make this so sour. But I have to say, I tried some drinking food earlier this week. Lady from work brought some in. Said that her mom made a bunch of extras, so she brought some in so that I could try it. So this week I'm going to make some and send it back. See what her mom thinks about my version. It was a turmeric shrimp dish, I believe. Or, I'm sorry, tamarind shrimp dish. It was very sour. But it was good. I don't do a lot of Persian cooking, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Sometimes you feel like a shrimp dish. Family drama is wild. Uh-oh. What happened now? Everything okay? You applied for 11 internships. Oh, okay. I know what's going on then. Almost done. These things are cold. My hand's getting numb. Yeah, everything should be all right. Good. For anybody that wants to join today, I have been keeping up. We do have everything posted on Discord for recipes and anything else. If you'd like to join, just hop in with the link below the stream, and you're welcome to join. And just let us know you're there so that we can approve you. We do manual approvals to make sure that we don't get any bots or scammers. So far, I've only gotten one person who was an art scammer, and that was it. So we managed, and we sent them packing. So we've done a pretty good job over the last several years. Oh, don't you go away. Now our rice is done cooking. I'm just gonna let it steam for a little while before we start doing that part. That's how it goes. Do you need? Oh, you're asking for it, Bon. All right, it says to cut these into cubes, but honestly, I think the best you're going to be able to do is this. Cut them into quadrants and then chop them. There we go. Get a bowl. There's going to be a lot of carrots in this. It's going to be pretty hearty. It's going to be a pretty hearty meatball stew, I guess, is what it is. Jen's got bigger teeth than I do. He's willing to use them. There we go. That's looking pretty good. I think those would be good bite-sized pieces. Hey, T-Pain, welcome in. Hello. This end is so small, we'll just trim those. We're making what essentially is a meatball stew. From Iran, T-Pain, welcome in. You don't do art now. I'm gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow is our first ever art stream with me. I am going to attempt to do it. Sen is going to start teaching me how to use various different pieces of software and how to actually draw. We're going to have several guests with that. It's not going to just be once. Zero skill and zero ability, but we're going to try anyway. One carrot left. A little end. And then dice it. Now our onion, we're going to need to cut it up into a couple of different sections. There we go. There, we got our carrot bits. Nice square pieces, bright orange. We need 3 tablespoons of our turmeric, so we'll get that. I'm just going to use it straight out of the bag, as I said. Normally we only use like a little bit, like a couple of teaspoons at most. For this kind of cooking, it's quite a bit more. That is a lot of turmeric. What are you all doing? A lot of these recipes I've noticed, I looked through a lot of Persian recipes. A lot of them are really just, they're sour. They've got kind of a sour taste to them. They're not spicy. All right, we need a cup and a half, roughly, or a cup and a quarter of grated onion. And we have a finely chopped 2 cups of onion. I don't know whether that onion right there has that much in it, but we'll give it a shot. Let me grab another bowl. Some of my bowls are still in the fridge from last week. I did not get ready in time this week. Oh, before we do that, how much chickpea flour do we need? 1/3 of a cup. All right, that's fine. Hey Dio, welcome in. It's starting. Okay, I'll just measure this and wait. It's my break time too. How you doing today, Dio? Welcome in. Hey, there we go. Tired? Yeah, me too. I'm going slow today. Now, there's a couple of different variations on this dish as well. I'm going with the most, not the most basic, but close to the most basic. Also, with that skills one that we were talking about, I'm also going to start growing some of my own veggies again. I used to do this years ago, but it only seemed to work for about 1 season, and then after that, everything died. Not sure what happened, other than I'm cursed. So we're going to try to fix that. We need 3 teaspoons of black pepper. I am going to check my measurements this week to make sure that I'm still giving you all the correct amount. Guru is has a lot more farmer skill than I do. That should be a little bit more than a teaspoon already. Yep. Almost exactly a teaspoon. A calibrated eyeball. There's a lot of pepper in this. Not a lot of salt. Three teaspoons, by the way, is 1 tablespoon. So a little bit more. You can imagine by now that this has got a pretty strong smell to it. We've pulled out quite a lot. Our salt, we need 2 tablespoons. Oh, it's 4 teaspoons of pepper. Oops. You going to the usual, Jindal, today? You better take something with you. You keep going over there and you don't take anything. That's rude. All right, next up, I need 2 tablespoons of salt, of kosher salt. That's our salt here. Yeah, I see you. I see what you're doing. At least I made a bunch of jalapeno poppers for them. Help clean up. Okay. All right. All right. I'm going to put a little bit less than that. That's still a lot of salt. Just the 3. I guess everybody thinks I'm like one of the best guests ever because I always bring good stuff with me. I'll bring the food, the alcohol, you name it, I'll do it. Alright, next up's our onion. Technically, I sort of brought something yesterday, chocolate cake to share because it was given to me and I was like, I can't eat it all. Alright, I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. So the first part, we need 2 different styles of onion here. We're going to need grated onion. Tech support. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, tell me about it. Although I will say Dad's done better because he hasn't destroyed the laptop I gave him as fast as he destroyed the other 2 machines. I built 3 separate computers. All I did was complain. Alright, we need a 1.5 cups of grated onion. I'm just going to do it this way. I think we'll use the big one. Oh boy. That's getting pretty strong smell right there. That's about a 1/2 cup already. That's not too bad. Woo! That'll get in the garage though. Oh. As the Cajun chef used to say. Sure the texture changes? Yeah. I got 2 because I figured I was going to need them. Oh boy. That is right at a 1.5 cups. So when they said medium onion, they really meant large onion because that's almost all of it. So much onion juice. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Just a second. Can't half see. a little better. Oh boy. I think this grated part of it is for mixing with the lamb anyway. So we're going to mix that in with the lamb meat. All right, there we go. Yep, that's 1.5 cups, right on the nose. All right. Moving on. We needed 1.5 cups of grated onion. We have that. Now we need 2 cups of chopped onion. Boy. You booping? Oh, I'm blind and you're booping me. Oh no. I haven't had that happen in quite a while. They usually don't bother me. These onions must be particularly fresh, which is unusual for this store, but hey, I'll take it. If I'd had time, I might have partially frozen them. Partially freezing them would eliminate some of that. Came from the same batch, so this one's probably just as strong. Alright, I need to switch modes and go back to our rice here in a minute. Just a sec. I'll be right back. One thing about it, it really clears your nose out. Let me check real quick, see what the next step is on the rice.
Every core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
You know, I think we can go ahead and do that. The saffron rice takes about another 60 to 75 minutes. So let's go ahead and move this over a little bit. We'll go ahead and do that part, let it start baking while we're working on the rest of it. We're going to have to kind of split back and forth today because of how these work. So next up, we need to get, for the rice, we need to get ourselves some water and some saffron here. Now, I don't have the ability to do it today, but I've ordered a mortar and pestle, which I found was on sale today. That Ursa sent us last week in stream. And it turned out today it went on flash sale for like half off. And it was very inexpensive. So I went ahead and ordered one. We need about 2 tablespoons of warm water. It's not a lot. So I could do it with this. We have had some progress on our other cutting board. I've had a heavy weight on it and I steamed it for a little while. So it's starting to straighten back out. There's no way we have a whole teaspoon of the saffron, but I'm going to use what I've got. This is the most expensive spice in the world. It's something like $72 a pound or an ounce or something. I'm going to call that enough. So we have enough to do another recipe here sometime soon. I'm just going to crush it a little bit with our spoon. It's like $72 an ounce. I'm not kidding. It's extremely expensive. This right here is almost $10. Just this tiny little bit. It is the pistil of a plant. I can't remember which one. Daffodil or something. You see how that water instantly started turning yellow? Alright, let me grab a baking dish. I'm going to start preheating the oven to about 400 or 380. Really have a round baking dish. Yellow water, yep. That needs to steep for about 8 or 10 minutes. just going to leave the threads in it too. We're not going to take it out. Where did the little scooper go? I just washed it. Where did my scooper go? Oh, there it is. All right, I got a lot of basmati rice here. More or less steamed it to perfection. Got all that extra long grain there. I'm just kind of fluffing it up. That's how we pretty much want it to look. Now we need to grease our bowl here with oil, our pan here with oil or butter. In this case, I'm going to use a little bit of butter and a little bit of olive oil. Then we're going to mix some yogurt, egg, oil, and saffron water into a large bowl and then add the rice. So we need to do that next. Set that there. We're out of space. We'll just have to make do with what we've got. I will come back to the potatoes and the onions here shortly. Video. And we'll just ignore this part for now. So let's get this oiled up. We want this oiled up fairly well. I'm going to use, I said originally I was going to use olive oil, but I'm not. I'm going to use something a little more high temperature because if I use that, it'll scorch. So I'm going to use a frying oil or vegetable oil. You can use vegetable oil too. In this case, it's a frying oil. I'm also going to add a little bit of butter. You just grab your butter stick and just kind of, you should be using kind of a room temperature butter. I'm going to have to melt it a little bit. this is where we're going to need our yogurt and our eggs as well, and our little egg separator. We're halfway through 2 different recipes right now. We're trying to do a little bit of both at the same time. I started working on our stew, and now I have to go back to working on our basmati here. Okay. This is a little bit more melted here. We'll just kind of spread it around a little bit. Get that butter and oil in there. Make it nice and fluid and slick. You don't want anything to stick. Definitely don't want to go in dry. How you doing, Boo Boo? All right, so now that that butter hit that cold pan, that cold ceramic, kind of solidified, I think we're good on that. Now we need to mix our yogurt, our eggs, our oil, and our saffron water into a large bowl, and then mix in our rice and kind of stir it together. Now it's not going to be all of it done that way, but we're going to try. We need to use about 1 cup of our plain yogurt here, our Greek yogurt. Now let me pull this over here. Get our bowl and our little egg separator. We only want the egg yolks. We don't want the egg whites for this. If you're doing a recipe like this, you might want to consider making something else as well. Ooh, this yogurt is very fresh. Normally that peels right off. That's good. Very thick. Thick is good. It's about 3 C's on this one. Now, if you're concerned about wasting that yogurt, you can always and I wholeheartedly say do this. You can mix some tzatziki with it. Right, there we go. That's good enough. So we got our yogurt. Now we need 3 egg yolks. And grab our little egg separator here and dump it all over the table. Because, you know. Ugh. Haven't done that in a while. go. Just get all over everything, why don't you? Feed the table some egg. Well, it got all over the floor too. It's gonna be tough to clean that up. Got it on scale. Okay, try again. Not use so much force. Okay, there we go. I am not having a good day today. Alright, I'm just gonna get the chicken to barf here. Come on, chicken, barf. Ah. So you can see what I'm talking about. This is how this works. You got your chicken, you got your bowl. It's supposed to just separate the egg, but it kind of just looks like the chicken's barfing. And it's not separating. We're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. There we go. Let's try again. They may be too cold, yeah. They're also a couple weeks old, so they may be getting a little old too. It's not going to hurt anything. Yeah, it's not flowing. They're probably just too cold. We'll just do it the hard way. Oh well. I gotta get one more now. Hold on just a second. This will work if you want to do it this way. All you need to do is just pour it between your fingers and leave a gap in your fingers. And you can go back and forth between them. But you got to be careful that you don't pinch it. And there you go. It just gets all over your hands when you do that. A bad reaction to getting things like that on my hand. But I could suppress it long enough to do the job. Okay. So now we've got our yogurt, and we've got 3 egg yolks, and we've got our saffron water here. And we're just going to leave the saffron threads in this. We're going to try to get all of it we can out of here because this is expensive stuff and we need it. Okay. So we've got kind of a bright yellow mixture here. You. Sorry, I really do have a thing against getting slimy stuff on my fingers. Alright. We need to mix the salt in there as well. So this is our salt from earlier, just our little teaspoon, our little 3/4 teaspoon. There we go. And we're just going to mix our rice in here. And I probably should have mixed that a little better first, but that's okay. There we go. And I am going to make a big mess because I didn't use a bowl that was big enough. Yeah, we're getting kind of a soft yellow texture to this. This is good. Just need to make sure that we mix it really well. Nice even mix. Alright, that's pretty good. Never mind that I just made a huge mess. Was that cooked rice or raw? This is the cooked rice. This is the finished cooked rice. You're gonna take this cooked rice with the mix and everything else, and we're going to layer it into our our baking dish here. No, you need to use fresh rice for this one. You're supposed to be parboiling it, as I said, and steaming it. We're not frying it. We're not going to just throw galangal in there and go for it. Now, I'm going to take this yogurt rice here, and I'm just going to layer it in here. Try to keep it kind of even in our butter. You're going to see little threads of saffron in there. That's good. That adds to its color. Ah! Dang it. Try not to spill it. You could just throw it in here and go, but I'm going to try to layer it just a little bit. And the reason for that is because I'm going to put some of our cranberries in the middle of it. Just a little bit of it, not a whole lot. So I'm going to take some of our cranberries that we fried in butter a little while ago. Kind of break them up a little bit. They've started to crystallize a little bit. Here we go. That ought to do it. Then we'll just put the rest of it on top. All right, kind of even it out. There we go. This is kind of a lemony yellow color. Saffron will do that. Ah, my hands. Apparently, the rest of the berries are supposed to go right on top, as is. So there we go. We're going to cover this with some aluminum foil and put it in the oven for a good while. That's why I said we need to do this now. These couple of recipes don't really require a ton of effort, but they do require a lot of time. Alright, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in the oven now. We're going to let it sit in there for about 50-60 minutes. if I can get it to stay put. Okay. Now we can get back to our lamb dish here. So we still need, got our grated onion. We still need a cup and a half. We need 2 full cups of chopped onion. Got almost 2 cups already. This probably will do it right here. All right, there we go. 2 cups of chopped onion. 1.5 cups of minced onion. All right, we've got our carrots, we've got our onions. We need to get our potatoes now. It's roughly about 3/4 of a pound. We need to cut those up. And we've got our ground lamb here, which we've got to turn into lamb balls. Oh, just a second, gotta check on something. Okay. That's fine. So I'm going to take our potatoes here and we're going to wash them off a little bit here. In this case, I am going to leave the skins on them because they are too small since we're using these little ones. I need about 10 ounces. And this is 24. So you only need about half of them for next week. We'll have to do something else. And we'll take one more. We got roughly 10 ounces of Yukon Gold yellow potatoes. About 8 or 9 of these little ones. We're just going to chop these up. I'm going to try to cut them into roughly the same kind of cubes that we did our carrots over here. Keep these as nice and even as you can. Alright, so we got our yellow potatoes cut up. Now, what's left? We've got our ground lamb. We're going to mix our ground lamb, our grated onion, chickpea flour, salt, turmeric, and pepper all into the ground lamb. So we're gonna just kind of dump those potatoes and carrots together. We're just gonna try to make about 20 or 30 or 35 meatballs and set those aside while we're making our sauce. This next part is where we're going to do the last bit of our work here. So we've got our carrots, we've got our potatoes. Those are all going to go in at the same time. Set those over here. We're going to put our ground lamb in here. Add in all of our onions and our salt and our pepper and our turmeric and our chickpea flour. Now this has been sitting out for a while, so it's probably softened up a little bit, which is good because if I have to stick my hands in, it's going to be, I don't want it to be super cold. Honestly, I'm sure you could use, you could use beef if you need to, if the lamb's too expensive, but I think today the lamb was about the same price. It used to be $6 a pound for lamb and, $3 a pound for beef, but oh shoot. It used to be $6 a pound for lamb and like $3 for beef, and now it's like $6 for both. So you can actually go through and use the more expensive stuff for better quality if you want to, since it costs the same. This is going to require a good bit of mixing. And that turmeric is going to smell very strong. There's 3 tablespoons of it in here. Except that I wasn't supposed to dump 3 full tablespoons in it. I just remembered that I was supposed to use 1.5. Okay, well. It can seep into the juice, I guess. I'm really not having a great day today, am I? It really will seep into the juice, so it's fine. You can make these any size you like. They recommend about 1 inch, roughly. This is probably a little bigger than that. You do want to make them about the same size though, so they'll cook evenly. As you can see, it's going to make quite a few. Probably making them about double the size that they originally called for, but oh well. Of course, when you cook these, you're going to have to cook them for about an hour. I didn't start a timer as to when I did the rice either. Oops. That was what, 5-6 minutes ago? I honestly may not finish all this today. India. I think it was 5 or 6 minutes ago. Maybe 10. We'll just say 10. It was supposed to be 60 to 80 minutes anyway. India. Trying to pay attention to my notes too. Yeesh. Oh well. All right. Let's go ahead and switch over to the stove. We're going to use belly aching again. Uh-oh. We are going to use our Dutch oven for this. I'm going to bring you back over here. Keep a little bit of oil to start with regardless. Because we're going to cook up our onions first. We're going to add a little bit of salt to that as well. Which is going to take about 10-15 minutes, so we should be good. I'll set a timer for the oven. We'll just have to add a little bit of turmeric to the sauce. It'll be a little bit too much, but should be all right. I put 1 tablespoon too much into the meat. No cookout. That's why I post the recipe, so you don't make the mistake I did. Occasionally, I do get a little ahead of myself. Today, I got ahead of myself. Oops. This is about learning, right? Well, today we learned. Put stuff in the dishwasher real quick. All right. I don't know if they even have those over there. Our oil's fairly liquid. Get our onions in. Gonna add a little salt. All right, this is gonna take just a little while because these are definitely gonna have to soften up all the way. They need to be fully softened this time. So what we'll do to compensate for the mistake I made, we'll add a half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of turmeric to the sauce. Let the rest of it boil out of our meatballs because it's all over the surface. It'll work its way in. That shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't make much difference. That's why why I normally don't mix everything right at the beginning. I shouldn't have done that. Looks like it's a little too warm. I'm gonna cut it back a little. Okay. We're gonna let those run for about 15 minutes, and then we're gonna add a little bit of turmeric, and then 3 cups of cold water, and then we're gonna crank the heat up, add our lemon juice, and then a little bit of pepper. I'm gonna get some cold water ready. We still got 10 minutes or so. Oh, it's yogurt. Okay. Oh, I really goofed. It doesn't happen often, but it did happen today. I wasn't supposed to pour all that pepper in there either. 1 teaspoon of it was supposed to be set out for the sauce. Oh, well, that's great. Still a little too hot. We'll turn it down a little more. Somebody hit the neighbor's car apparently in the driveway and set off the alarm. I thought I was hearing something. Oh, there he goes. He got it. I'm going to clean these counters down real quick, too, because we got eggs on them. For those that weren't here earlier, we are going to have another stream tomorrow. I'm going to try and start learning how to use other types of software and maybe see if I have any ability to try and learn how to draw. We'll see if we can do that and maybe make some of our own emotes and stickers and things. We'll start with that. That should be more simple. But that'll be tomorrow at 4. Roughly same time as today. Alright, I'm going to call that as pretty much done. They're not quite softened up, but they'll boil down. Let's add a little bit of turmeric to it and some pepper. So much turmeric. And there's our water. I need one more cup. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Should be alright. Before we add our lemon juice, an entire half a cup. Now once we get this up to a simmer, we're going to add our meatballs and let them cook for a couple minutes. And then we'll add in our potatoes and everything else. Getting ready to head out. Okay, I'll see you later, Tickle. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. got kind of a simmer start. A couple of those scorched onions out of there. Alright. Let's start adding our meatballs in. We'll let this cook for about 4 or 5 minutes until they get back up to a boil, more or less. And then we'll add our veggies. I want a strong simmer on this one. We've still got about 30 minutes on the rice. It should be starting to crisp up soon. I am, however, feeling like I need to check it. A lot of these things I see translation errors. No. Nope, it's not. It does need the time. That's fine. Am I doing okay? Like I said, this one was going to be a little slow today. Alright, we're starting to get up to a simmer. taking a little while because my stove. Oh, I goofed up a couple things, boo-boo. I put too much pepper in the meat and turmeric. But we're gonna boil. I'm sure it's gonna boil out into the sauce a little bit. It'll be fine. I'm not gonna mix. I mixed a little bit more in there, but not much. Check the saffron rice. It's still quite uncooked, so it'll probably take the other 30 minutes that it needs. It's cooking out right now. It's cooking right on into it. Our meatballs are holding form, so they're good. It doesn't, however, seem like enough juice to put all these potatoes and carrots in there in a minute. We're about to do that. About another 2-3 minutes. Here we go. We got a pretty good simmer going. All right, need to add in all these carrots and potatoes. I guess that works. All right, we need to get this back up to a simmer, and then we'll let it sit for a little while. playing this one out today a little bit better than this, but apparently we're having a little issue here.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight of the
Right home. Okay. Oh, you were. Okay, I know where you were.
3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Discovery, go and throttle up.
Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Apparently, one of the mistakes I was making was getting these boards too hot, so don't do that. Don't put them in the dishwasher for sure. The poly boards don't seem to care, but not shoe shopping, not you. Oh, okay. If you hadn't said that, I wouldn't have known better. Oops. This is where I said that it would take a little while to get it done. The problem here isn't that it's very difficult. It's just that it's a little time consuming. So it takes a little while to get this done. Ooh. My back. Oh. As you can see, it's starting to gain a little bit of liquid as some of the veggies are starting to cook. So don't get too anxious and think that you don't have enough and start putting more in. I've done that more than once. You end up having to just cook it longer to get more out. To eliminate it. Okay. Look at all that bright yellow. All right, so about the drawing stream tomorrow. I needed a new laptop, and by new laptop, I mean I needed something that wasn't made in 2011. My last laptop was made, was a Lenovo T410. It currently doesn't even hold a charge. I have to keep it plugged in. It's a Gen 4, I believe. i7. Mobile. So it doesn't have any power. So what I did is I decided that I would go ahead and try and do a few other things, as well as get myself a new laptop as well. So I bought a Surface Pro 9. And I got a tablet pen. So that's what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to use that, along with the photo editing and a few other things. We're going to try to spruce things up a little bit. I haven't done a lot of revisions here in several years. Everybody else was walking away and doing all sorts of new things. I can't. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. See, I told you it would cook off. Turn the heat down just a little bit. We want to keep a good boil going, or a good simmer going, but not boil it.
Liftoff of mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's core computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
So that's going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be about another 20-30 minutes. I tried to get it timed out today, but there's only so much I can do. Anyway, I got that tablet. Sorry, I got distracted by something. I got that tablet. Hopefully it is much more powerful apparently than my laptop is anyway, so I can do everything I need to do with the laptop. We may even be able to set it up to run this stream. What you all don't, well, you may know, some of you know. But right now, the camera that I'm using for the prep table here is sitting on top of a CPU that's in a full tower case. And it is a Gen 4 i7 with a 970 GTX in it. I think perhaps maybe this one little tablet here could probably run both cameras and do the whole thing without this huge table in the way. So we're going to see about using it for that. If it's capable of doing it, fine. If it's not, I'll see if I can find a laptop that's relatively inexpensive that can. Because this table is taking up like a third of my open prep space. It's huge. Or I can put together a little microcomputer. Everybody seemed to like it when I was building a PC earlier. This is looking pretty good. I feel like I want to add some water to it, but I'm not going to do it. It's only got about 20 minutes left. 15, 20. We got about 8 minutes left now. Nope, we're done. We're supposed to cook those until the meat is done, and then allow the potatoes and stuff to be soft. They're already soft, and the meat is definitely done. So we're done with this one. I didn't realize it was that far gone. Yep, that's done. And it's still very tasty, even though I made a mistake. For reference, I checked the meat. The meat is well over 200, so it's done. Take a look at that. It's looking quite tasty. I'm going to check on this underscore here. Stove. Looks like that's going to take a little while longer. Rather than hold you all here, I'm going to go on and just end the stream today. So we've at least got that. I had a feeling this one might take too long. In any case, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Jindal, thank you for the resub at 36 months, and thank you all for being here today. I know it wasn't the most exciting one, but we had a lot of really good food today, and I'm hoping that the rice is going to turn out great. I think it's going to. We're looking at it here shortly. I'm going to have to find a plate big enough to put that on. In any case, you all have a great evening and have a great weekend. I am just going to end here. I think we're done for the night. You all have a great night. Have a great evening. Bye now.